Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name is Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Heads of state are in New York for the UN General Assembly. Among them, Ukraine's leader, who says he's set to meet with President Donald Trump. And Russia appears to be provoking the U.S. and its allies ahead of the talk. Amy Kiley has more on what's happening with the two nuclear powers.
There's no restraint on Putin right now.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's meeting with President Donald Trump this week as U.S.-Russian tensions rise. He says they'll talk on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. Their meeting comes as Trump says he will defend the Baltic states and Poland from Russia if necessary. That statement before Charlie Kirk's memorial yesterday follows Russian incursions into NATO airspace. Those include flying jets over Estonian territory Friday and drones over Polish and Romanian land earlier this month.
Zelensky has spent 3.5 years making the argument that Putin will not stop at Ukraine, and I think he'll be able to make that even more forcefully and to push for a clear position from Trump on getting tough on Russia.
Article 5 of the NATO treaty says an attack on one member state is an attack on all of them.
Sooner or later, if this kind of provocation happens, we're going to have some kind of incident that will prompt a crisis. And that crisis will force President Trump, I suspect, to think about which side they want to take.
Article 5 requires alerting the UN Security Council. Today, that group is holding an emergency meeting at Estonia's request.
Tensions are running very high. NATO and the European allies grappling with the very real risk as these attacks escalate of this conflict spreading.
Amy Kiley reporting, News Channel Nebraska.
Maintain, nourish, and support your health by visiting our Good Health, Good Life shopping tab. You'll find select multivitamins, probiotics, and more designed for you. Make the good life even better and promote your health in 2025.
The number of uninsured kids in Nebraska is on the rise. Advocates for children say a lack of coverage can lead to lower levels of basic care and more serious mental health or medical issues in the future. Nebraska ranks right in the middle of the states in terms of the number of children with no health insurance. Based on U.S. Census data, Nebraska's child uninsured rate rose from 3.7% in 2023 to 5.3% last year.
In Nebraska, on the ground, that means that in 2023, we had about 23,000 kids who were uninsured. And now in 2024, from the data from 2024, we now have 27,000 kids who are uninsured.
Advocates say the hike in uninsured kids is at least partly due to changing Medicaid eligibility rules at the federal level, what's been called an unwinding. Experts say that's left many more kids without coverage.
We were very worried about eligible children being disenrolled by mistake during this unwinding process, especially in states that did not approach the process with the utmost
Nationally, the child uninsured rate rose from 5.1% to 6%, the highest spike in a decade. The Trump administration, meanwhile, scrapping plans to release an annual report on hunger. The Agriculture Department will issue its last report on food insecurity in the United States next month. That report will provide figures from 2024. A department spokesperson said the annual report on hunger became redundant, costly, and politicized. The department also claims trends in food insecurity have remained virtually unchanged, despite an increase in government benefits between 2019 and 2023. The move comes months after President Donald Trump and the Republican-controlled Congress passed their domestic spending package that makes cuts to the food stamp program. Another new government report shows despite the Trump administration's tariffs, the price of a new car has held steady in recent months, but people are noticing a difference when they get their vehicle repaired. The latest Consumer Price Index report shows a jump between July and August. The report found car repairs rose 5%, the largest one-month increase on record. Overall, car repairs up 15% from a year ago. Analysts say tariffs mostly to blame. The Trump administration has put fees on both imported autos and parts, which has driven up the cost for repairs. Norfolk City Council has approved a $1 million grant with the Nebraska Department of Transportation to design walking and biking paths. And as Hanky Hazelton reports, city officials say this project will connect the west and south sides of Norfolk, enhancing pedestrian safety all over the city.
We applied and we received for a $2.3 million planning grant. The project is going to include a 4.8 mile, 10-foot wide multimodal path.
This path will provide a connection from the south side of Norfolk, starting with the Cowboy Trail at Tahazuka Park.
Connect across Highway 275 along 7th Street near the downtown area and social services hub, and provide a crossing up along Highway 81 and connecting to Skyview Park.
Allen said the community input has been the center of this project from the start, and through the recent outreach from 440 community members for the multimodal transportation, residents emphasized the clear priorities of safety.
We don't have a trail along 7th Street or a path along 1st Street, so people that are coming from the Cowboy Trail, they're on the street on a 2-lane road, riding on the road with no shoulders, no sidewalks, and traffic passing by them. So it'll give a dedicated path for those people to move around town.
In Norfolk, Hanky Hazelton, News Channel, Nebraska.
Nearly $900,000 has been committed to a state-of-the-art skate park in Grand Island. When skateboarding first made waves in America, Grand Island had some ramps built at Pier Park, but there have been no real renovations for nearly a quarter century. This new rendition, made of mostly concrete, meant to be inclusive and safe for skaters of all levels. The high price tag covered by funds from a food and beverage tax charged to people going out to eat for quality of life projects around Grand Island.
We try to have something for everybody, and a skate park is a unique group. It's a specialized group, but there's a lot of people in our community that really appreciate a facility like this. And next spring it'll be picture ready. This fall we'll be planting grass and finishing up the landscaping. But the skate park itself is usable.
City officials say Grand Island was a good spot to add a park of this scope to its arsenal of options for outdoor activities. Being able to get clean runs in, though, can be a little tough because of the high traffic they've already seen.
When school gets out, it gets super busy, so people are already trying to find the times when it's not so busy. So, yeah, it's a good problem to have. It's catching on that this park is probably one of the nicer ones in the state. So we're seeing people coming not only from Grand Island, but regionally.
The official ribbon cutting set for Thursday at 4 p.m. among the speakers, Grand Island's mayor, and others who are part of the investment. And a memorial to honor hundreds of Nebraska's veterans has been dedicated in Gordon. Casey Wanenberg takes us to the emotional ceremony.
If you're driving along Highway 20 in the Sandhills, this will likely catch your eye. And on Friday, the Veterans Memorial Park in Gordon was officially dedicated.
We have our freedom because of them.
Connie Nelson traveled from Sioux Falls for the ceremony because both her son
Come here.
and her dad
This is my dad.
are honored here.
Dad, my son.
Their names are among the more than 700 etched on the memorial's walls.
In 1950 and 1954.
Nelson's dad served in the Air Force in the 1950s. Her son joined the military after the September 11th attacks and served in Iraq.
I cried. I cried. There was nothing I could really say to dissuade him. But I'm proud of him. I'm proud for what he did.
Veterans like her dad and son
right here
are exactly who Casey Walton had in mind when he first told News Channel Nebraska last year that he wanted to expand this park.
This is my dad, Melvin Walton.
At that time, he had a goal of 270 names.
The response that we got was so big that we decided to add some pillars. And the pillars that we added are the 4 pillars of the American Legion.
There are so many details at this park. Like right here is a list of all of the Sheridan County veterans who died while serving our country. And over here, a list of all of the names of Nebraska Medal of Honor recipients.
There's a lot of history, a lot of education there, and I think a lot of, hopefully a lot of younger people will stop and learn a little bit from this memorial.
Dozens of people from across the region gathered for this dedication.
Goosebumps and tears.
Including Helen McQuiston of Evanston, Wyoming.
I just know that he was very patriotic.
Her late husband, who was injured in Vietnam, is honored on this wall.
A lot of soldiers, when they came back, were not honored and still are not honored. And I think that's why it gave me goosebumps.
Honoring those who fought for our freedoms while giving drivers a reason to pause, reflect, and remember. In Gordon, Casey Wannenberg, News Channel, Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com. Click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.